We got the wiggle jiggles out.
I got you.
All right. So, Bill Keller, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. We've been sitting down talking about this without a microphone for a long time before we got the opportunity to actually do it, and now we do. So it's really awesome to have you here. And also, Lori's first time on the podcast. We've been talking about her being on here, she and I, for a while, but it became an issue of just having enough pieces of equipment to have more than two people on at a time.
So we're both, what's that word? New.
I was going to go with amazing.
Amazing. That's,
I love it. I
those
love
qualities.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
So we've been looking forward to this conversation for a while, talking about things like change and growth and becoming new things and new versions of ourselves. And when I first met you, one of the first things I heard about you was Bill won a bodybuilding competition at age 80. And I was like, what? Let me talk to this guy. And I have never had a boring conversation with you, first of all, just never. And you have had an amazing life. So I was wondering if you could, for those listening and don't know as much about you, take us back to before your 70s and 80s, you decided to get into bodybuilding and that kind of thing, which we can go into deeper a little bit later. But kind of give us your origin story. Where did Bill come from?
I take it. I've had it. My life kind of feels like it's been charmed most of the time.
Charmed, interesting.
At least it's been charmed. I was a wrestler, the most popular guy in high school. I went to college, dropped out of college, became a commercial deep sea diver, hard hat, canvas suit, burning, welding, underwater demolition. Was going to sign up after I dropped out of college. I was going to sign up with a group to dive on like oil rigs and stuff, and got drafted at the same time. That was around 1966.
Drafted into Vietnam.
I got drafted into Vietnam. So I decided, having become a deep sea diver and all that water stuff, I'd join the Air Force. Which makes absolutely no logical sense. And I've been
naval
about it
diver
for decades,
or something.
But so I joined the Air Force. Ran computers just like yourself, I believe. We talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah, I was Signal. I did computers and satellites and all kinds of anything. Yeah.
Yours,
did a lot of that
was a
stuff.
little more sophisticated than mine.
I don't know about that.
I started to work on the old Burroughs B-263 punch card.
So I did see some of the old equipment that you worked on. I had to teach the Afghan Army how to use it. And there was no user manual. I didn't know how to, I had to research it. Like, I had to call my signal officer and all that. And like, hey, sir, you're going to have to, dig some stuff up for me. I don't.
Right.
My uncle and grandfathers and stuff, fought in this war. I don't know this equipment. It was interesting, to say the least. And then you had to teach it with an interpreter through a different language. Nightmarish. We got it done, though.
I got you. And so I was stationed in McGuire in South Jersey. And about the...
McGuire Dix.
About the
Fort Dix.
Fort Dix and McGuire, right there side by side. Wrightstown, New Jersey, home of the Hoagie Hop and Dawson's Bar and Grill. Anyhow, these are the Air Force times. And so right before I got out of the Air Force, I was ready to get out, and some brokerage firms from Wall Street came down to McGuire, and they had a job kind of fair for people, and they hired me, and so I started my first job out came from a town of about 5,000 people, and started my first job after the Air Force in New York City.
New York City.
and this was back during a time when Wall Street was still in its infancy. You wouldn't believe they were. Just the things they were doing. If you had any background in that, you'd just be absolutely amazed.
Yeah.
So
wow.
and it's been just so I became a stockbroker with E.F. Hutton in 1973. I was registered. I worked as a broker in New York, and then I moved to Atlanta. Worked as a broker.
Wow.
And then I moved to Dallas, and I was a broker, and I was a little bit dismayed with Wall Street research, because I was the last one to ever know anything. So
why was that, you think?
Well, because the people that were spending, the big institutions got the information first, and it was filtered down to me last. And so when I passed it on to my retail clients, so I decided that myself and a couple of we built a systematic, disciplined approach, an algorithm, if you will, to follow thousands of stocks with the same metric. And we began selling our research because it was extremely effective. It was quantitative. We were one of the few quantitative shops in the world, really doing the same thing we were doing at the time. And so I became president of that company and was president for about 30 years.
Wow.
And it was just a marvelous career, just doing wonderful things and running around with wonderful people and rang the bell to open the exchange and was interviewed in Forbes, Barron's, Wall Street Journal,
Wow.
Chicago Tribune. As a matter of fact, I was a source for the Chicago Tribune.
So I got to ask you, was it anything like Wolf of Wall Street
It
when
was
you rang the bell
absolutely
and all
It
the
was
chaos going on?
Absolutely, the insanity going on.
Y'all didn't throw any midgets at a Velcro board, did you? I don't mean to offend midgets, but they did throw them in that movie.
But sometimes you would get a porcelain plate put on your table after dinner for dessert. Anyhow,
Okay,
you've
gotcha.
seen that Wall Street Week.
All right, yeah.
Not me, but I mean others did.
Right, gotcha. I know it was there. Got it. I just wondered how it was having worked
then
in it.
I turned 70, and it was about time to retire. And I, of course, had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was a bit overweight, a little bit of depression, used a substance or two, and
Yeah.
so I decided that if I wanted to live my life, if I wanted to continue to live my life the same way, and the only way to do that, I felt, was to exercise and to eat well, to become fit. So I started studying exercise science and nutritional science.
And this is around like what age?
Around 70.
Around 70.
And, yeah, I was already.
Can I ask you? Was there what was it? Was it like a moment or an event or something that just made you decide you wanted to do?
Realization. I've just always been in tune with what I was doing. I didn't have a goal about most of my things. I just decided I was going to do them and did them.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just is something that made sense to me. So I started applying the exercise nutritional science to myself, and it works. It works. It's all science, and it all works. What now I'm 81. My chronic illnesses are gone, and I am more at peace in life than I've ever been. I'm at peace. I'm just only at peace. So, and that's only because well, not only because, but I'm fit and I'm active, and I constantly challenge myself. This is new for me.
Yeah.
And I love to challenge myself.
Yeah.
Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill.
I love to
You know,
challenge
Lori
myself.
dug that out. You got to tell him
I
about
know.
this.
I love it, man.
So earlier I was getting set up for this and everything, right, and kind of testing equipment, and she was kind of moving some stuff around and reorganizing, and she comes across this and tries to explain it to me, and I couldn't get in the mindset to. I didn't remember it at the time, and so explain. She came across Bill.
Oh no.
Oh,
Mr. Bill. He has lots of misadventures.
Oh yeah, the misadventures of Mr. Bill. Yeah. Oh no.
Anyway, she thought it would be a good idea to
It
have
is
him
a
on
good
the show.
idea. I love it.
It looks like you.
Yeah.
Blue
Thank you,
eyes,
I'm
blonde
just stealing.
hair.
Yeah.
I'm just stealing.
So,
But go ahead.
there were some things I wanted to unpack. You said a few things there. Chronic illnesses and things like that. Let me ask you, what was the first thing that you did change when you started this process?
Well,
and then we can talk about the illnesses.
My exercise habit. It was just a slow transition, and then I've having been involved in numbers and quantitative stuff all my life. I started looking at demographics, and I saw there not an opportunity, but a huge need for people over 65. Suddenly, and this wasn't conjecture, all these people were alive.
Yeah.
That the senior population was going to be the biggest and fastest growing segment of the population.
Yeah.
And yet, the senior population, they all had one thing in common:
What was that?
chronic illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
And 93% of all seniors, and a chronic illness is an illness that's not viral driven, but and it's something that 80% of all the chronic illness in this country could be prevented, cured, or managed by exercise and good eating habits. This is just the science. This is just the science.
Yeah.
So I said, why don't I, and it became my desire to inspire. That was the only thing I could think of in my mind. I wanted to inspire my fellow seniors and other people, but my fellow seniors in particular, because that's the group that needs the help. It's not the youth; they'll get it,
Yeah.
but the seniors, they need the help. So that was my goal and my challenge, and I started talking. I didn't really think anyone else was doing a lot of this, but I started talking to different groups, and I found that like AAA or AARP rather, AARP and Silver Sneakers, Silver and Fit was a group. I started talking to people like that and telling them what my passion was, and so I started doing some stuff for AARP. I did a segment, about a half hour interview for all their members, which is about millions. And
I remember you sent me the article on that. I read it.
Well, that was another article. That was this article was one of the first things. This interview is one of the first things I did. I'll see if, as a matter of fact, I'll dig it up. But
okay, all right.
But then I started talking to Silver. I decided that I would have to, in order to have an impact, I would have to create some. I would have to create myself. So I started this process of contacting different groups and telling them what I was doing, and Silver and Fit really liked what I was doing. So I had it. As a matter of fact, the guy I was talking to, I flew out to San Diego and kind of had an interview with them walking on the beach, just talking and walking. I did drinking a couple of beers afterward. But they and I told them what my goal was, that I wanted to inspire seniors and others to make exercise and good eating habits part of their daily lives. And so they suggested I start an Instagram account. And so I now have about 5,300 followers on Instagram. I've done about 70 Instagram reels on fitness.
I've seen quite a few of those. They're really good and instructional. Yeah.
And I'm also, so then, excuse me, I started a YouTube account, channel rather, and doing 7-minute gentle chair exercise routines in the YouTube channel. And I'm doing a local TV show, exercise show. Again, those 7-minute routines for seniors.
Yeah.
People that are sedentary. And it's at Channel 6, the YouTube channel here in town. So I do that.
So here in Tullahoma, the YouTube channel that they have here. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
But so I'm doing that, and I just challenging myself with new things that I've never done before.
Yeah.
And just trying to learn things about social media and that's. And I've found
that's a trick right there. If you didn't come up on all the different, like I honestly had to learn how to work TikTok good. Like you look at my early videos and they were not good. My kids would have been disappointed. Like, Dad, don't post that. But I didn't know I didn't use TikTok before, and I used it because it actually helped promote the podcast. And now it's done well. There's a lot of followers on that, but
I'm so sorry.
It's just learning it, to
Excuse me,
promote whatever brand it is or the message that you're trying to get out. And there's there literally is an algorithm to it.
Now, and you have those just few seconds to make contact.
Yeah,
to open people's eyes. I found that the reels that I do without my shirt on, and I've done a couple of them, get hundreds more views than the ones I do fully clothed. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's the thing, you get people's attention. I've kept my pants on, but you get people's attention.
All right. Well, I'm going to get this one back on track. Bill, let me ask you, did you ever feel like quitting at any point when you were, all this stuff you've gone through to get to where you're at right now? Was there ever a point that you felt like quitting? And if so, what kept you from doing that?
I ever had hard times, I think is what you're asking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all have those.
Yeah. But that, all that doesn't matter. That's been life up to now. I'm 81. I'm at peace.
Yeah.
All that was just life. And I listened to things like stations like NPR maybe or something where they have different interviews with people and they talk about these people. And these people will be in their 30s, 40s, 50s. They've written a book and, this is how it is. And I'm like, yeah, that happened. I've read that. That's,
Yeah.
And to me, it's just also obvious that and I've decided that I've literally tried to stop worrying about anything. Now, I could be concerned. I could try to figure the things out and think about them, but if I have something that's going to happen, and there is a good thing and a bad thing that could happen, and I focus on the bad thing, then 3 months later the good thing happens, I've wasted all that time thinking about the bad thing. So I'm
Absolutely.
tired. And bad things just they just my perception. I've discovered my perception is my reality, and my perception is that my life is good. I'm at peace, and I love the world and people.
There you go.
That's
Yeah. I mean, you could go into I'm going to thrill Lori here, but we could go into the science rabbit hole of how your perception does become your reality, but maybe on a different episode later on.
Yeah.
But what you focus on with your mind, and it really does become the world that you're living in. You're not going to control the things going on around you that other people have, that they're interacting with their own.
Right.
And we all bump energies sometimes, and it don't feel so well. But
yeah. Well, I had
you know what I mean?
and this is not a secret.
Yeah.
I abused many substances,
Mm.
but I don't. But I did, and and I had some dark periods.
Yeah.
But you don't think back at those dark periods. I hate to admit, but they were fun too.
You learn a lot from them. You know,
they just involved things. They were.
you learn a
fun
lot.
too.
You learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
You know, dark nights of the soul, if you want to call it that or whatever. You learn from that.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk to. Let's go back to the senior fitness here. I wanted to ask you, what do you think like 50, 60, 70-year-old individuals get wrong about fitness?
Well, I think that, and I think it has a lot to do with societal approach. In this country, we developed the thought or idea that retirement was the goal. That was the goal, and to have that easy life. But what I found is that retirement just opens up an entire new world for you. I could do things now I couldn't do when I had to go to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
Now I could create, I could think, I could contribute, and find peace. And so I don't know if I kind of got lost in what the question was, but that was.
I think you're kind of on track with it somewhat. I'll get more specific. So
Yeah.
So my question was, what do like 50, 60, 70-year-old individuals get wrong about fitness? And you touched on something that I wanted to talk about. It was about one of my old first sergeants. He used to say this, that now I've thrown myself off track. He says a lot of things that were very inspirational to me. But you were talking about retired, right?
Yeah,
Retirement.
yeah.
So he's got this thing that he said, retired, not expired. And there's a difference, right?
That's right.
I started saying it when I
That's right. You're not a
retired.
quart of milk.
Retired, not expired. You think some people just associate that with physical fitness? Well, I'm done with that part of my life. I don't really need to be that physical anymore. I'm older. I'm whatever.
I was talking to a cousin of mine that's as close as my brother. He's in South Carolina, and he is having a lot of problems, and he was in the hospital, and I was talking to his sister, his sister, who's like my sister. So, and all she, oh, it's just when you get old, this happens to you. When you get old, that happens to you. And I'm like, Bev, that doesn't have to be the case. She said, oh, I know. But I said, it really doesn't. And that's why I want to tell you it does not have to be. I'm 81 years old, and I started this trip basically intensely at 70 and became more intense as the years went along. But I've reached 81, and here is the thing. I'm not deteriorating. I'm still improving. So I know how the body ages. We all know how the body ages. But I also know how to keep the body well.
Yeah. And
keeping it well seems to trump the aging part. Now, I'll die someday, but but when I do, that Grim Reaper better be high stepping right behind me if you got to catch up with me.
Yeah.
And when I do, that's okay. But I want to live my life till I die. And I want to be able to. So I just I want to challenge myself constantly.
Yeah.
In good ways.
So like eating habits.
Yeah.
Right. That's stuff that we all struggle with, right? Yeah.
Well, okay.
So let me ask you: Did your nutrition change drastically when you kind of went into this phase that we're talking about, where you really later in life decided to get back into the physicality, improving it, the
Not
health.
drastically.
Okay.
Because well, when you say drastically, like it all went like it was 100% this way, and then became 100% the
It was
other
kind of
way.
gradual with the physical
No,
part
it was
as well. The eating was kind of the same.
Well, eating well is important to me most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I want to be conscious about what I'm eating. But life is to be lived.
Right.
It's just not all just about eating and exercise. You have to live your life. It's so if I want to sit down and eat a hamburger, drink a milkshake, I will. But I'll try not to. I'll always be conscious of the fact that, hey, I did that.
That's not going to be your primary intake, is what
No,
you're saying, right?
that's and then I'll try to eat well if I've eaten poorly
Yeah.
for a day or so. I'll try to eat well for several days or as much as I can. So I do that, and I try to do that daily.
Right, which is something I was going to ask you. Actually, what do you think is something that people overcomplicate about eating healthy?
I think diets. The minute they hear diets, they hear restriction, and it shouldn't be about that. A diet is just being conscious of what you eat. So I think what they overcomplicate is they just try to, you watch your saturated fats, watch your sugar intake, and watch your added sodium, and just watch it. Just be aware of it. Hey, I had a milkshake last night. Maybe I better not. Maybe it'd be better if I had something else today. Excuse me. Or I had a candy bar, and I've last few nights, several nights ago, I would stop and get myself a pack of Skittles, man, and I would eat Skittles all. I'd wake up and I'd eat Skittles, or Starburst or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm consuming a lot of sugar, so, and I walked past rice cakes and I said, so now if I want, so now I have a couple of rice cakes or maybe a piece of fruit. That's what I normally have. But when I get on a candy binge, I'm a sugar addict, and I'll stay on that thing until I convince myself, until I let myself know that, take it easy, boy.
Well, I wanted to ask you.
So that's the thing about it. Just being aware.
Just being aware, okay, and moderation and some of that stuff. That's probably not so good for you.
Moderation, yeah, and that's being aware, moderation, and just trying to eat slightly smaller portions if you find that weight's the issue.
Yeah.
But but just try to eat healthy most of the time.
Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you here. I want to talk about your win at 80. All right.
What?
Your win at 80.
Oh, cool.
At what point did you think, I want to compete
Okay.
in bodybuilding?
When I was 79, I realized I'd done something kind of special.
Yeah.
Because here I was at 80, 81, and I'm bouncing around like a teenager when a lot of folks my age aren't. And where was I with this now? I thought that's that old. No, that's not an old thing now. It's just where was I? So I realized that in order to really have an impact, I had to get some attention.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, and again, I was like 79. I thought, what can I do? Well, I can't, I'm not going to train to run a marathon. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to lift 10,000 pounds. I'm not going to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? And I looked at my body. I worked out in the gym a lot. And I looked at my body and I said, you got a pretty decent body for anyone, even despite the fact you're 81 years old. And I worked out with intensity. So I said, why? And I read this article about bodybuilding. I said, that's it. But I said, I'm not going to do it till I turn 80 because 80 is different than 79.
Yeah.
You're octogenarian. I don't know what it's going to be if I turn 90, but anyhow, so.
Octogenarian.
Yeah, so I'm an octogenarian.
Yeah.
Haven't heard of that.
That's a good, right?
Yeah.
Good usage. Lori blew me away with some verbiage she had the other day, but anyway, I don't want to sidetrack you. Go back.
Well, no.
No. Back on your story.
But so I began training, and I went up to and I read a little bit about it, and I went up to Murfreesboro, and because these insurance companies for seniors want us to exercise so much, I have free gym memberships through Silver Sneakers, Silver Fit, all over the world. And so I went up to Murfreesboro to this Olympus gym.
Yeah.
Asked them if they accepted Silver and Fit, and they said yes, we do. And I said I want to train because they had pictures of all these bodybuilders on the wall and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm 80, I'll be 80, and I want to train for a bodybuilding competition. They said, okay. We have one coming up in Orange Beach, Alabama, down on the beach, in September. And I said, but I don't want to do it until I turn 80.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll train up till then, but I want they said, well, I turned 80 August 30th. And so they said, well, the contest is September 1st. So I diet. I ate I ate 3 to 4 meals. I ate 4 to 5 meals a day, smaller portions. I consumed. I ate within a half hour after I got up. I had oats for breakfast. I had egg whites.
Mm-hmm.
I consumed an adequate amount of protein and carbohydrates to first help me build up the muscle a little bit, and then the last month or so just to kind of tear it back down. And I was ripped.
Yeah, I saw the
81 years old.
photos.
So I stood on the
I
stage.
saw the photos. You were.
I stood on the stage, and 80 years old, and I'm posing my body in like a bathing suit.
Mm-hmm.
Not with a skimpy, with a regular. Don't laugh
No
at me.
Speedos.
Don't
No
laugh.
Speedos.
I know it's a weird picture. But and the applause was just amazing,
bless you.
and I just felt part of that. So I found I really loved the stage. I really loved the stage. So, but anyhow, so I got that, and before I went, I said, okay, this is going to, because I'm not the oldest person ever to do it, but I'm the oldest person I think ever to do it for the first time.
The oldest one to do it for the first time.
Yeah. I'm like 80 years old and I'm doing it.
Right.
And they had to create a
So
new
you've
category.
never done it before
never done
80
it
years old is what
ever.
you're saying. That,
Oh, yeah,
okay, you were the
I-
oldest one to ever have done it first time. Is like, I
I just
understand
got
what
my
you're saying.
mind. I got my
Okay,
mind wanting to do
that's
this.
crazy though. So what was it like stepping on that stage at 80?
I loved it, man. People loved me. They embraced me.
Yeah?
And I'm like, I was just having the time of my life. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be a little frightened and everything. I guess I was for a second.
Yeah.
But after that, I started hopping around the stage and everything, and I just started interacting with people and the crowd. And I said, "Man, this is fun." But that's so. But before I went, I called these various. I called AARP or texted their brother, or email actually. I think called them, and Silver and Fit and Silver Sneakers. And Silver and Fit got back to me at that time, and they said, we're doing a special thing, and we want you to work with us. And well, that kind of got put on, and because they wanted to do this thing about me participating in this contest.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really right for the corporation, for the company to do it at that time. They had other priorities. So, but I kept in contact with them. I kept talking to them, and then and that's a group I met with in San Diego. They're the ones that inspired me to go on with the social media, and because I told them my passion is to inspire older people, and I'd sent one of these to AARP also, and AARP got back to me and they said it was for a thing they were having for like the athlete of the year. They were going to sponsor someone with money, about 4 or 5 people, as a matter of fact, and. So I sent them this letter and told them what I wanted to do. And they got back to me and said, well, we've selected other people, but we were so interested in you, we'd like for you to just do an hour-long session for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so they set me up. I got the camera on me and everything, and talked to all their members, and that of course was a sort of key. But so that's led me to where I am now.
Yeah.
And in my journey. So that took me a while. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's fine. I wanted you to, no, that's awesome. I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Was it about a trophy or something deeper?
No.
Yeah.
No. It was, as a matter of fact, I didn't know.
I didn't think so.
I really couldn't. No, it was about, I knew I had to have a hook.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get anyone's attention with that hook. I was just another guy working out.
Yeah.
It looked okay.
So you went up there and showed at 80 years old, hey, I just never did this before, and I went and won a bodybuilding competition. I must understand something about how to transform body later in life, and when everybody says you can't.
Yeah. Well, it even inspired the judges that were older. Not as old as me. but we're older. I
Yeah,
feel like I
well,
was
that's
older than
good.
my kids. But anyhow, that inspired them to want to try it themselves and get back into it. It was just fun, you know. And
What
I had
did
a whole group with me.
what did transformation teach you about life at that point?
That I don't know. It's just I've just learned so many things as I got older.
Yeah.
Not a single thing that transformed me, but just things like my perception is my reality. If I think I'm living in hell, I do, and I don't, so I don't. I've learned not to judge people. When I look at anyone, I want the first thought in my mind to be anyone. I don't care where they are. I want the first thought in my mind to be love, followed with in my mind a feeling of, and then and not judgment.
Right.
You know, I just don't want to. So I don't want to judge people anymore. I don't want to try to change people's opinion because that's their perception of their reality. But I'll let them know how I feel. But argument I don't argue with people.
It's a waste of time and energy too.
Well,
honestly,
it's not so much that, but people say, well, you can't talk people into doing it.
Right. I don't mean it's a
Excuse
waste. I don't mean you're wasting your time on people. I mean that if somebody's not willing to listen, then there's no conversation that's getting through. Like is that what you're saying?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like the thing about there's a thing about big numbers. Better numbers just go in my head all the time, and a small percentage of a big number is a lot. So the senior population is like 75 million.
That's very true.
That's 75 million people, man. That's a heck of a market.
Yeah.
You know, a small percentage of that. So all of them aren't going to jump aboard. But I can inspire maybe enough people to really get some attention.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do it to millions of people.
Yeah.
And I could only that's my inspiration, my idea. And it's not the material stuff, but the only thing I want is a Lamborghini. but I lived a good life.
You'd like to be
You
rewarded
deserve
with a
it.
Lamborghini. That's fair.
What color?
I want to know this.
There's just like
Good question.
It's a friend of mine wears lipstick that's this color, and so I saw a Lamborghini in Beverly Hills that was just the color of her lipstick, and I sent a picture of it. I said, "This is what I want." So, and I've looked at a purple one. So, but it's going to be flashy. It ain't going to be black or white.
Purple Lamborghini.
Or
I like
red.
it.
It's going to be purple or pink or orange or.
I don't hate it, right?
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What do you think holds most people back from changing, since we're talking about
Fear.
change and stuff?
Well, not fear.
Fear is a good one.
It's not so much. It's a lack of knowledge that they only have to challenge themselves a little bit and try new things. It's a lack of desire.
Well, that's
or
true,
fear of
but
doing it.
that's true. But a lack of knowledge leads to a fear of things, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're right. Lack of knowledge, lack of knowing.
So it's like most people. See, that was another thing that I said on some interview somewhere. I was doing with a group of people, and it was that. I'm talking about so many things here, but it was about the fear of challenging yourself, trying like new things, and the fact that older people. When I got together with a group of older people, the whole conversation was about their health and about going to the doctors. That was the whole conversation.
That was the whole
I was around
conversation.
10 people my age, 9 of them, and I was the 10th. 9 of them were talking about their doctor experiences. And what I said to myself is, I said, I want to change the dialogue. I want to change that dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit down and talk about doctor experiences. I want to talk about how you can be healthy, how you could, how you can find peace in life, how you can impact not just your health, but all aspects of your life. All aspects of my life are better because I'm fit and old.
Yeah.
But young at heart and body and mind. And appearance.
Well, Bill, like I super appreciate you taking the time to come and talk with me and Lori today. I definitely want to sit down and talk with you more about some other things in a little deeper detail. Cool. But coming towards the end of it today, and I wanted to ask just a couple of questions to close it out to both of you. Lori's been strangely quiet today. I think you just got her entertained, is what it
That's
is.
okay. That's what it was my goal, Lori.
You're always entertaining.
Yeah,
Thank you
100%.
so much. That's my goal.
I want to ask you first, Bill, and then give Lori some time to think about it. What's one thing that people can start doing today that would change their life? Doesn't have to be about fitness. It can be whatever, anything. What's one thing they can do today?
I would say the one thing that I have found in life is that it's just people challenging themselves a little bit with the same thing they've been doing or new things. Like one thing I'm doing in a few months, and I've never done this before in my life, but I got a call a few weeks ago, and they said, Bill, there's a show here in town in Tullahoma, a theater, and they asked me if I would do, for one of their productions, if I would do a stand-up comedy routine. I've never done a stand-up comedy routine in my life, but I got to thinking about my times on the stage, and I've had 3 in my life now recently, in the last 5-6 years. And I loved it so much, I thought to myself, I could do this.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy, man, in front of 200-300 people. And so I wrote a routine. I'm using a Jeff Foxworthy thing. I've written a routine. It's about a 6-minute routine. And I'm gonna do it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. It's something new. It's something exciting. And where I go from there, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You know, something physical, something mental. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just a little challenge.
Well, just in the last half hour, you have described competing in and winning a bodybuilding competition, which I have never done, and you're describing getting ready for getting up on a stage and doing a comedic routine, which I have never done on purpose. I've been comedy for other people at my expense before, but I've never done it on stage.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing.
I want to do it without drinking. One time.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I've always been funny.
Liquid courage to get up there and speak and be funny. No worries. Lori, same question. What's one thing that people could start doing today?
Whatever you got, man. You know Bill here. But
Lori, same question to you. What's something you could do?
Get outside.
Get outside and do what?
Whatever the hell you want to.
Just get out and live life, huh?
Unplug. Go
Unplug.
outside, plant a garden.
There you go.
Cool, man.
We told you, like, we're planting a whole bunch of stuff this year,
That's
right? Like,
great.
she's got mad stuff in the greenhouse that she's already seeded, and like some of it's been planted, and like
Well,
we're
no,
getting ready to plant
that
other.
stuff is challenging you to do something.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to plant a garden. You can go to Tom Thumb or not here, but Publix and get your vegetables. And stuff.
yeah,
But you do. But you're cooking.
But you
you're doing your
shouldn't.
own.
You should go to the farmer's market.
yeah. I should go to the farmer's market. Yeah,
That's even.
yeah. Or grow your own if you don't.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you know. But yeah, I agree. Get out, unplug. Don't be in so much. Be out more and get around nature and grow some stuff if you can. Learn about it because, you know, one day you might not be able to go to the grocery store and get it. That's a good one.
But
I like that.
I'm always going to assume that I can until I can't, and if I can, I'll just deal with that.
Gotcha.
I hope I will. I hope I will make my mindset such that coming toward the end of my time here, that should something happen, that I would still have the same mindset to inspire myself, to inspire others,
Yeah.
to challenge myself, and to try to be the best version of myself at that time I can. I'm not talking about with a halo.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the best version of myself as a human being.
All right, next question. What's something that you believe now that you didn't earlier in life?
That the down periods don't matter. That anything you go through now, not to worry about, and to take. I've conquered that little voice in my head. I've told it that it has no right to talk to me that way. It doesn't know any more than I do. It's my voice, belongs to me, and I'm just not going to let it abuse me anymore.
Yeah.
That's not that I'm not going to be concerned about things. That's not that I'm going to react to things, but I'm just not going to let that concern me. I don't let people's opinion of me concern. I don't want to let it concern me anymore because that's their opinion. Why should it matter to me? To give someone else's opinion that much leeway with me, I've given them too much control. I've given them control over my life, and I'm not going to do that. I just want to love people.
You have, absolutely. And honestly, opinions, that I mean, you can give those, but opinions is like it's honestly, I look at it like this: it's the lowest form of intelligence because it requires almost, in most cases, not all, it requires almost no knowledge to give.
Yeah.
Depending on
or
what you're
to
talking
receive,
about.
Or to receive someone to just
Exactly.
listen to crazy
but not
stuff.
always. Like, there's some that are with good intentions, and they're very, like, you can tell when somebody might need something. You're like, not even opinion, just advice necessarily.
yeah.
Is really what I'm more referring to.
Yeah,
but opinions, like,
yeah.
It's a fine line sometimes.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't care what somebody else's opinion of you is none of your business. It's in their head. It doesn't matter.
I'm kind of the point where I tell my kids, of course, my kids are older. They're 40, 30,
Yeah.
but
Lori.
But I tell them, I said, I have no knowledge for you. I just look at me, man. I don't want you to do what
no
I
knowledge
did
for
and
you.
live your life,
got
man.
nothing.
I'm not the one. I'm not the one who want to tell you what to do.
Bill
Yeah.
stole
You'll
my
figure-
idea. I was going to say, yeah. Who cares what other people think?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not your life. You didn't walk my shoes.
You couldn't fit in mine. Not you. I'm saying.
Bill couldn't either.
Yeah. Well, but we have different size feet. But I'm saying the universal. You don't know what it's like to walk in the shoes. So yeah, why should you?
No,
do it?
you
Yeah,
don't.
Absolutely.
You don't. And yeah.
Yeah. Last one, and then we'll close it out. If you could sit down with your 30-year-old self right now, what would you say?
No, my mind can't do that. I'm sorry, but my mind just cannot do that.
Let's
I'm here.
let's say
I'm,
your
I'm who
60-year-old
I am
self.
right now, and I
You mean
have
it-
been who I was, and I can't change or anything. So I can't conceive in my
Okay.
mind what I would think to do if I were 30 that would be different than what I did because here I am and I'm at peace. What more can I ask? So it's not avoiding the question. It's just that I really, in my mind, I can't do that in my mind. It just doesn't work for me because here I am and I'm
Yeah.
at peace.
Yeah.
I feel good and
That's
I love
fair.
and life is great and so I wouldn't I have to say I wouldn't change a thing because I
Not
can't.
not change anything.
Well,
I'm
do
not
different-
asking if you would
even do
change anything,
differently.
but just what would you say? Not do anything different, not change anything. Just what would you say to your younger self? Doesn't have to be 30. For Lori's going to be 30.
Well, I just again not worry's a waste of time.
There you go.
Think things through. Don't
sweat the
worry about
small
things.
things.
People's
there we go.
perception is their reality,
Okay.
and accept that. And the opinion of others, while it may matter to them, if you let it matter to you, then it better be someone you care a lot about. Letting them matter, because otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So just saying things like that, just a normal wisdom kind of things that come, I think, because something happened to me when I got older. I think I got a little bit of knowledge. I call it knowledge. Anyhow.
I mean, I like that. I think for me, there's several things I would probably say, but I think I would have to say, listen more and say less in situations where it's obvious you need to be listening
Yeah.
instead of speaking, but also don't be afraid to speak when you need to speak.
Yeah.
Because those are two things that I definitely struggled with in my
Yeah.
30s for sure.
Right.
Lori, what says you?
That was my people pleasing age.
Oh, yeah, right?
I'm done with that.
Never did anything good for you, right? So what would you tell your 30-year-old self?
Quality, not quantity.
No, that's
Quality,
true.
not quantity.
That's true.
In all aspects of life, huh?
Yeah.
I like that.
Spend time on the people that spend time on you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't want to spend time with you. Yeah. Don't want to be with someone. Don't want to be with me.
I think that's translatable no matter what the relationship is you have with the person, honestly, is what she's saying there, honestly.
Yeah.
Whether it's just a friend or that's very true, and it could be just an acquaintance. Like we honestly, I think those of us, and this comes from a people-pleasing background, had that phase a little bit in my life, you overextend a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know I
parts
sure
of
did.
parts of yourself you just don't realize you do. So I like that. Bill, again, I appreciate you coming on here. Real quick, if you want to kind of give a shout with your Instagram handle and YouTube and the various places that people can find you. I know you got a bunch of reels on Facebook and Instagram. And
Yeah. I have an Instagram page that's at, well, I guess you say at, I'm still learning social media, but William Harrison Keller, which is my full name, but I put it down and I said, okay, I'm not going to be some nickname. That is my name. So,
Okay.
so that's my Instagram account. I'm the good-looking guy with the because there are
It'd be hard to
a few of me up
Just
there, but I'm
scroll
the
until you
good-looking.
see videos with a shirtless man that's flexing and he can't be
Setting traps.
81.
And
Click on that.
My YouTube channel is the same as my Instagram. My full name, William Harrison
Okay,
Keller.
awesome.
And I have 7-minute exercise videos on my YouTube channel that start with a warm up. Then they go to breathing exercises, which I think is critical for seniors because there's so much respiratory illness. So I do breathing exercises, and I do strength, I do gentle chair exercises that require only, for the most part, you in a chair. And then I do balance exercises because I don't want people falling down. So that if they get used to trying to balance themselves, they won't. And then
Right.
I have range of motion exercises so people can actually turn their bodies. They can turn around in the seat. They don't have to hurt themselves. So they're excellent routines designed specifically for seniors. They're quite short, but if someone's trying to start knows they need to start exercising but don't have the wherewithal to get to a place or to do it, but if they have a chair and a phone or a computer, they can go to my YouTube account and I will exercise with them in the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks, Bill. Appreciate it, and looking forward to having you back on again. Or you got anything before we close out?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Bill. Oh no.
Oh no! Mr. Bill!
Thanks, Bill. Thanks,
Thank you
everybody.
very much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.
Okay.